And we are we're still at the Comixology not panel. We're at the booth, and we're with Loughridge, who has a couple books out. His most recent one, I believe, is Adequate.
Correct.
So let me turn the camera over to Lee and let's find out about him and his books. So before we get started talking about your books, tell us a little bit about yourself as a comic book reader and creator.
I've been a colorist for 31 years, and then got into writing about a decade ago.
Okay.
So it's nice to be able to write the stories and have a hand in the art. Makes it a little more sympathetic to the art team. A lot of artists aren't sympathetic to the art teams. They just want to mount on them.
So, do you remember how you got introduced to comics?
Late in college.
Okay.
I didn't grow up reading comics. It just wasn't what my group did. It was more like Mad Magazine.
Okay.
Packages, collecting cards and stuff like that. But I was more of a Mad Magazine fan, which I got to work on. It was fun.
And, so you started out as a colorist and then started writing.
Right.
Was there a kind of a leap or creative leap for you, or did you already have some idea of what?
Yeah, I think I always had ideas, but this was like before creator comics were a bigger thing. I never really wanted to write superheroes. It doesn't interest me. So, like when Image Comics came out, Comixology, just had to over the creator and stuff. I was able to write whatever it out.
Yeah.
It makes like stories have it more palatable for everyone. I think like the consumer has progressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Vertigo is so like avant-garde, and then it just kind of became fun. You know what I mean? The stories are, like, so I think that's the bigger thing. I mean, finally, the market is kind of ready for something like that, I guess.
Sure. So let's start off with talking about Adequate. Give us the elevator pitch and what people should know about it.
Yeah, Adequates is about a group of misfits, freshmen in high school, and they absorb these powers from these superheroes from days gone by. And the only problem is they didn't fully absorb. So the powers are like half-baked.
You're adequate.
They're adequate. So we've got a guy, Churro, he can see 15 seconds into the future, but he has a 14-second step. Keepers can see through anything, but his vision's 80-20. It's like, it could be a dog. It could be an otter. Funny stuff like that. And Flight can fly, but he basically hovers about 4 feet, but not as fast as an infant flies. So it's more of a story about them having to join forces to utilize that. I mean, it's a kid's book, so it's about working together to overcome what they need to overcome, because I'm going to keep cutting you off.
No, I'm going to try not to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I talk over you. When they got their powers, there was another thing happening. One of the teachers gets infected with this demon. So the jocks or the elites are coming after them the whole story, and all the while they're trying to exorcise the demon out of their favorite teachers. So there's a lot of things going on. It's a fun story.
So, what was the inspiration for the premise?
I came up with like the idea of the characters 20 years ago, and then I actually was working on it with Nick Tagata.
Yeah.
Batman.
Small book, up and comer.
Yeah. But it was a heavier book at that time. It was more involved. It was like funny, but a little more risque. So I wrote that script, showed it to Mars Jr., who was collaborating. It's in every way, from writing the art, everything, story, the whole thing. And then he thought it was too much, so I wrote a new script that was toned down. He came back to me and said, let's just make it a kid's book. Let's go all the way, like an 8-year-old or even a 12-year-old. Because I tend to be a bit honest.
Oh, there's a time and place for that.
Yeah. But Mars has been invaluable.
Yeah. So your other book was Midvale, correct?
Midstate.
Midstate. I knew it was mid something.
Yeah.
I was midly right.
Yeah, that book, that came out last year, and it'll be out with Mad Cave this December.
Okay.
That one's a little difficult to describe. It's basically about a disgraced clairvoyant who actually has crazy abilities, and people keep going missing in his town. And it's pretty tough. People are going missing, and there's a doctor that he can communicate with the devil while just after people die. So he has to kill people in order to keep these mid-state conversations going. And the clairvoyant and rookie detective attack. There's a lot of different weird layers. It's a tough book to explain without giving it away.
Sure. No. So coming from a colorist background to a writer, were there leaps or I guess a learning curve you had to, or does that or does being your work as a colorist help you?
Yeah, I think visually.
Yes.
I'll write way more visually, to make it a better story. But I also realize I'll probably overwrite the script, and then it's like once we go to page, I'll start taking dialogue.
I think that's
So I try to strip it down to work. Nobody likes a word really working on it. It feels like work. You shouldn't write it.
So what is it about Comixology in the Comixology format that appeals to you as a creator?
I think what's nice is way more people will see it. So, like, if I put out an issue 1 with anyone else, I don't, probably won't sell that good. How many people are going to see that? 10, 15,000. With Comixology, look at 100,000 views, especially on issue 1. And then, because it's agree with the ad, right? Hey, what's up?
Richard, hey.
Doing an interview.
That's Richard dope. Drive like hell.
What's nice, I think it gets more eyeballs on it. And the fact that we go to print makes it even better. So we get to promote this book for like 6-7 months while it's coming out digitally, and then we get like 3 months ramp up to it coming out in print. But I think it's a more progressive way because you don't have to stress about those companies or being
Yeah. So, because I know you probably have something else you need to get to, or I don't want to hold you too long. Anything else about your books or Comixology, or that you would like to make sure people know about?
No, I believe Adequates. I don't know if I think I'm allowed to say this, but it's coming out next year.
Okay.
Midstate will be out in December. Through Mad Cave, the low graphic novels. I feel like you go online, go on to Comixology, read issue 1. You like it by the book, and I'll sign it. It'll be worth 45 cents more.
And where, if any, can people find your stuff? Find more from you?
I don't do Twitter because it's a toilet.
No lies detected.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
Loughridge.
Sure. All right.
It's the only place I'm at.
Enjoying the show so far?
Yeah. I just got in last night, and then went straight to it.
I see nothing wrong with that. So. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go and get back to the show. And but thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with us. And anytime that you have anything you'd like to talk about, feel free to let us know, and we would love to have you on our long format. Cool. All right. Thanks very much.